Okay, so the world of AI voices is just exploding right now. And for years, one company has pretty much been king of the hill for that top-tier, ready-to-go sound. But now, a brand new challenger has stepped into the ring. And folks, this is a classic David versus Goliath story.
And that's the big question we're digging into today. Can a free, community-driven, open-source model actually go toe-to-toe with the polished, professional giant? Well, we are absolutely gonna find out.
And look, this isn't just some niche tech battle. This stuff really matters. We're talking about the voices that are going to power everything from your favorite podcasts and audiobooks to the characters in the next big video game. The demand is huge, and the technology is moving at a wild pace.
All right, so let's get right to it and properly introduce the two contenders going head-to-head in our showdown. So, in one corner, we've got ElevenLabs. You probably know them. They're the polished pro, the industry standard for incredible quality, and just being super easy to use. And in the other corner, we have DIA 1.6b. This is our open source challenger, and it's all about giving you, the user, total control and customization. Now pay close attention to that word dialogue. DIA isn't just built to read a single sentence perfectly. It's been engineered from the ground up to handle the natural, messy, back and forth of a real conversation. And trust me, that's a much, much tougher nut for an AI to crack.
You hear about these giant models with trillions of parameters. So you might be wondering, why is 1.6 billion a big deal? Well, it turns out this size is kind of a magic number, a real sweet spot. It's big enough to capture all those tiny, complex details of human speech. You know, the rhythm, the tone, the emotion. But it's still small enough that you don't need a government supercomputer to actually run it. It's the perfect balance between quality and efficiency.
All right, enough talk. It's time for the main event. This is where we put these two models side by side and actually hear the difference for ourselves. Let's do it.
First up, pure, raw voice quality. ElevenLabs is famous for that incredibly smooth, almost perfect, production-ready sound. Dahlia, on the other hand, is going for something a little more raw, a little more natural. And the difference is fascinating. One sounds like a flawless voice actor in a booth, and the other sounds more like a real person, maybe with all their little imperfections.
But hold on, because this is where DIA throws a massive curveball. You can literally just type little cues like coughs or laughs directly into the text, and the model just generates those sounds. This adds a whole new layer of realism that just goes way beyond changing tone or emotion. It's incredible.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This one comment from Reddit just captures that wow moment perfectly. It's not just about speaking words anymore. This is about creating a truly believable performance, complete with all those tiny subconscious sounds that we all make.
And now let's talk about maybe the most compelling argument for our open challenger, the price tag on the software itself. It's zero. Zilch. You can download and use Nagara 1.6b completely and totally for free. Of course, free almost always has an asterisk, right? With ElevenLabs, it's straightforward. You pay a subscription fee. With DALL-E, the software itself is free, but you have to bring your own hardware to the party. And that means a pretty powerful graphics card and paying for the electricity to run it. So it's a trade-off, ongoing fees versus a one-time investment. For our final round, it's all about control. Because DIA is completely open source, developers can just pop the hood and start tinkering. You can fine-tune it on a specific voice. You can change the underlying code. You can build it into your own custom apps. It's a level of deep, hands-on customization that is just impossible with a closed, proprietary system like ElevenLabs.
So what this all boils down to is that this isn't just a simple comparison of features. The choice between these two tools really represents two fundamentally different ideas about how technology should be made and who should have access to it.
So you might be asking yourself, okay, why is this open source idea such a big deal when it comes to AI voices? Like, what are the real, tangible benefits for you?
Well, the advantages are actually huge. Because the code runs on your own machine, you get total privacy and control. You're not locked into one company's pricing plan forever. You can even use it completely offline. And maybe best of all, you have a whole global community of smart people constantly making it better for free.
You know, probably the best way to wrap your head around this is to think of the classic Linux versus Windows debate. ElevenLabs is like Windows. It's polished, it's super easy to use right out of the box, and it's perfect for most people. Dahlia, on the other hand, is like Linux. Unbelievably powerful, endlessly customizable, and free. But you gotta have a bit of technical know-how to get it all set up.
And that right there brings us to the catch. All of that amazing power and freedom you get from the open source world,
It comes with a slightly higher barrier to entry. This isn't a simple one-click install.
Yeah, getting Dia up and running is a little bit of a project. You need to be comfortable with things like cloning a GitHub repository, setting up a Python environment, using the command line. Basically, it's a tool for builders and tinkerers, not necessarily for the average consumer who just wants to click a button.
So, after that whole deep dive, how in the world do you choose? Which AI voice is the right one for you? Let's break down the final verdict.
Honestly, it all comes down to what you need. If you need a professional, polished voice right now with absolutely zero technical fuss, ElevenLabs is the clear answer. But if your top priorities are freedom, privacy, and deep customization, and you don't mind getting your hands a little dirty, then the power that Dia offers is incredibly compelling.
To put it even more simply, Dia is for developers and creators who want to build stuff. ElevenLabs is for non-technical users and businesses that need to publish stuff. But really, the best way to decide is just to hear it for yourself. If you've got the hardware for it, give Dia a try. We've put links to the code and a live demo down in the description so you can go and test out the Open Challenger right now. And all of this leaves us with one last really fascinating question. As these AI technologies just keep getting better, is the future of synthetic voice going to belong to these polished, closed-off platforms? Or will it be driven by the sometimes chaotic, but incredibly innovative and powerful world of open source? The battle is really just getting started.